Hi YouTubers, Elsie Butcher here with part 2 of my teaching Two Kinds of Life to Dissimilar Givers. In part 1, I explained that Eve, or Chava, C-H-A-V-V-A-H, in the Old Testament concordance to the Bible, is described as the giver of life, or breath, or spirit and vitality. And God, aka Jesus, in the New Testament, is the giver of Zoe life, or the larval forms, the beginning forms of crabs or of cancer. We also looked at the first half of the meaning for John 10 and 10. The second half of John 10:10 says, I, Jesus, am entered or inserted into that they, the recipients, might have life, and have it more abundantly, or that the recipients might have or hold, might support, uphold, defend, and keep Zoe, or crab larvae, wrathful ghosts of cancer, that are transmigrated, and might keep Zoe in greater abundance, or in a superabundant quantity. They can hold on to Zoe because of being contiguous, in proximity or close contact with through touching, being yoked to, or having cancerous larvae adjoined, added to, or attached. Let's define larvae further. Let's look at the word revenants, R-E-V-E-N-A-N-T-S, which means those returning from the dead. Transmigrated souls or evil spirits with the forms, the inherent natures of crabs, that carve, that hew, that strike, that penetrate and inflict or afflict, that torment and distress so severely as to cause persistent suffering, and that cause the unpleasant to be endured or tolerated without contradicting, or without taking issue with, without diction, without speaking righteous judgment against. In John 11:25, Jesus says, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth on me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. That is to say, Jesus says, I am the one that is risen from the dead and the author of resurrection or resurgence. Renaissance, R-E-N-A-S-C-E-N-C-E, renaissance, which is rebirth, or the born-again experience, meaning transmigration. I am the life, I am the Zoe, I am the crab larva, the cancer ghost. He that is persuaded of my religious truth and puts faith in me for salvation to be their Savior or deliverer, even if he were dead, nevertheless shall he live, be quickened or revived. Now, of whom is Jesus speaking here? It has to be members of the Jewish nation, since Jesus Christ is spoken of as their Messiah, their King, and their expected deliverer. The Gentiles, according to the concordance, are non-Jewish people, given to the Jews as an inheritance or as slaves, according to Psalm 2 and 8 and Matthew 4:18 and 19, where they are referred to as fish. In John 11:25, the word live is taken from the Greek word zao, Z-A-O, and according to the New Testament lexicon in the Complete Word Study New Testament volume, it is akin to the word zeo, Z-E-O, meaning to settle or to boil, to be, let me say that again, meaning to seethe, S-E-E-T-H-E, or to boil, to be agitated, to be agents that are driven, mobilized, put into action after being inserted into vehicles or bodies that carry, and these agitated agents are then dispatched. They dismiss, remove from rightful positions, and reject those persons regarded as unimportant or unworthy of consideration, and they put them to death. In other words, the bodies into which they are inserted become scapegoats. And these evil spirits that are put into them, these cancerous agents put inside of people, reject those people and put them to death. The word zeo also means to bubble, to become effervescent, foaming, and lively or animated, quickened, the lifeless being reused to action, according to Webster's New World Dictionary of the American Language. Now, according to the Complete Word Study New Testament, under the heading Zao, Z-A-O, number 2198, is this statement: the substitution or replacement, Zoe life, is animal life or bare existence as compared to the Greek word bios, B-I-O-S, mental life with consciousness, from which our word biography is derived. This is a direct quote. A biography, of course, is a written account of a person's life, composed by another. Zoe life, or animal life, is bare existence or naked presence. Those that are present but are without clothing, without dress, without having the right to direct or to regulate the activities or the courses of people's lives. Number 979 in the Complete Word Study of the New Testament says, bios life, but not as in Zoe life, is meant as the principle of the spirit or soul and referred to duration or continuance in time, permanence, and also being the means, the way, a mode of being, and having ability to perform well as a manner of life. So here in the Complete Word Study of the New Testament, the word Zoe and the word bios, from which we get bio, are distinguished as being different. God, aka Jesus' life, is Zoe, Z-O-E, or animal life, and not bios, the principle of the spirit or the soul. And what kind of animal is Jesus? Evidence shows it is to be a crab, and crab means cancer. Look it up for yourself. That which is evil and malignant, passionately, relentlessly, and aggressively malignant or virulent, pathogenic, disease-causing, and spreads destructively. I cannot leave this teaching without saying that we are not taught much about the immunoresponse, or that some medicines or drugs trigger immunosuppression. Indeed, in all of my years as a devout Christian, I do not ever remember hearing a sermon about immunity. When people embrace various religions, they have aligned themselves with Lucifer and idols which equal death. But resistance to cancer and all other diseases for living persons from a living originator comes from living. I am more than a little tired of seeing Christians, as well as others, die from cancer and other diabolical diseases. Their deaths should cause us to see the falseness of the healing and forgiveness claims of Jesus as put forth in the Bible. The countless deaths attributed to cancer cause these claims to be nothing more than snake oil. Can you answer this question? If the earth is their Lord's and the fullness thereof, how is it that Lucifer, aka Bel, aka Satan, is called the god of the earth, the prince of the rulers of the darkness of this world, etc.? Until next time, I am Elsie Butcher, and I hope that this teaching has taught you to look further into the scriptures in the Bible and has caused you to understand where cancer and other diabolical diseases come from. Thank you for listening.